everybody. Welcome on iLLeY, player for the Dallas Empire, London home series winner. iLLeY, I had a chance to talk with you, days after joining the Dallas Empire back in October of last year. And I asked you kind of how your rookie season would go. Your thoughts kind of before your rookie season to now being toward the end of your rookie season. How different are those thoughts?
Honestly, they're not that different, I would say, but they are a bit different. As you know, when I started my rookie year, whenever we were scrimming online for like a couple months,
Hmm.
our team was really, really good. We would honestly like destroy people in map count just in scrims, even though that doesn't matter. But like it was like confidence. We would just like know like yeah, we were playing really good. And then after we went to the first event in Minnesota when we lost both our matches, and it was like a wake up call for us, like yeah, we're not that good, we need to get better. And then honestly, that's how my rookie year started. Just like I started at like the top in scrims online, obviously, then went really low. Like so, honestly, it's not that bad losing first two events because it was a wake up call right in the
Hmm.
beginning. So basically, if we won Minnesota, won both our games at Minnesota, we would go into the season thinking, yeah, we're the best. But it was a wake up call, so we started at the lowest low. So like that really like made us grind harder. So I would say that benefited us more than it really hurt us in a sense.
Hmm.
And yeah, after that, we got second at London, and then we got first at LA, both on land. So that really helped us. The first event losing, getting demolished, really, really helped us. Not gonna lie. And then after I went online, won two more events, and yeah, we've just been getting better ever since.
Now I know I'm sure like when we talk about the conversation before your rookie season to now being in it, I know that the conversation of being back online was by no means something that you could predict with COVID, and obviously that anyone could kind of predict either. But in terms of the way that the season is going right now, and I know we're kind of reflecting a little bit. The season is by no means over as we still have Toronto within champs. But are you happy with your performance so far throughout your rookie season?
I wouldn't say I'm very happy because, as you know, in the start, whenever I started, obviously wasn't the best. I was still learning a lot of stuff. I still had a lot of stuff to learn because I never played variant before. But right now, like this time of the year, like I could just tell I'm hitting form. Just like by the way, I've been playing in scrims and just like last event, like this is the iLLeY that people usually know and have been seeing the past couple of years. I'm hitting that form finally, and now I'm getting happy with my performance for sure. And it's just in time for champs, so I'm very happy about that.
Well, we kind of talk about that, right? Obviously, this is your third home series victory. Do you feel like you can, rather, I'll say this, do you feel like you can't celebrate too much, kind of knowing that champs is right around the corner?
Oh yeah, no, 100%. All these home series victories, for us are just for seeding. We want to get the top two seed, and honestly, it's just for practice. It's just for practice for the big one because champs is the huge tournament, and all these home series are just for seeding and just for practice for the champs.
Hmm. I know in terms of, we talk about home series and whatnot, kind of how it is, kind of in terms of preparation, the way that we kind of look at things. In terms of your own performance, as you alluded to it, you finished off with like a 1.2 KD. I think the lowest on the Empire was Crim6 with a 1.15, which is still fantastic. What was different about this win for you in comparison to the other two?
This win, honestly, like as you guys could tell, just like spectators and everyone, just like people playing, this win was very, very dominant. Our other wins, we would go game fives. It would be really close series all around. We would lose games, we lose series, but this tournament was totally different. This tournament, we came in with the fire. We lost one S&D in our first series,
Hmm.
and then other than that, we did not drop a map. This like after playing this event, it was definitely different because wow, we could just tell like we were on point, we're all playing good, and our ceiling is very high.
Now, the victory that you guys had, right, is considered the most dominant of the season. You guys finished 12-1 in overall maps. You finished on an 11 map streak. In terms of respawns, you guys averaged a 60-point hardpoint victory. A 30-point victory in domination was also average for you guys across all of your series. Was this the Empire at their best?
Uh, I wouldn't say it's at our best because we could definitely get better because we still make a lot of little mistakes, and if we fix those mistakes, I think we'll be unbeatable. So I wouldn't say this is our best, but this is definitely a very good empire.
Yeah, a very good Empire. I like. I'll take that for now. Like I said, we kind of get to see this dominance from any team. I think it was what Crim6 in an interview had told me it was kind of about the preparation and the mindset that kind of started to set you guys apart. What was the primary cause for you behind this Dallas dominance?
Honestly, like we just came to a realization, like we got smoked last two events. Like we need to get better. We lost to Florida and Atlanta, and just our mindset was like we need to just all just start grinding really, really hard like how we did at the start of the year. And we need to cut out the bullshit. We need to practice. We need to have really good practice because our practice leading into the two events we lost wasn't really good. And we had really, really good practice the past 2 to 3 weeks before this event. And honestly, just having good practice just made us very, very, very good and way better. And also, Porter gave up a Warzone. And ever since he
Right.
gave up Warzone, he's been tucking. I'll give it to him.
Yeah, ever since he gave up Verdansk, right? That
Yeah,
seems to be the key. But I know you kind of talked on practice a little bit. But what for you is the definition of a good practice ahead of a home series?
a good practice. I say everybody be on time first of all. Nobody should be complaining. Nobody should be complaining, and then everybody stays on afterwards to watch VOD together, because sometimes like we would be late. Sometimes we would like be complaining about the game, just complaining a lot, and then
Mhm.
sometimes like we wouldn't even like all be there to watch VOD. But before this home series, all of us were there for everything. Everything was perfect, and it showed.
It definitely did. Now, I gotta say, we had to touch on the two victories, in particular that you guys had over the Subliners and the Mutineers. I'd say it's fair to say the two most interesting ones of the weekend. We'll kind of talk on the Mutineers because that, for me, was one of the most interesting series in terms of what we saw this weekend because of what it kind of told us, as many thought it had Game 5 potential. iLLeY, what do you cater that 3-0 win versus Florida to?
Honestly, I would say, not gonna lie, we had really good vetoes. Like that, those map sets were probably the best vetoes we had in a while. Like,
Hmm.
um, they beat us on Gunrunner hardpoint 2 times before, and we knew we could beat them in Gunrunner hardpoint. We weren't scared or anything. We just knew we lost. We went over VOD together, like I said, just and we seen what we were doing wrong. We ended up fixing those things and ended up winning that. So, like I said, just better practice made us win that. And then we had Piccadilly Search, which like I like that map a lot because I just snipe. I just snipe
Hmm.
every cross. So that definitely helped us as well. And then the Hackney Dom, we just went back and watched VOD. We seen how they beat Atlanta in the finals by a lot, and we just studied. We just studied a lot, and it showed.
Now, when was the moment that you knew the tournament was yours? Was it after the Florida win? Was it after a certain map versus the Legion? When did you know that the London home series was going to go to the Empire?
Definitely during the Florida series. Like honestly, after the S&D, like after the S&D, like when all of us were on fire,
Hmm.
our communication was on point. Like you could just like tell, like you could just feel the vibe. Like the vibe was there, the vibe was right. Just like the flow and everything just felt perfect. After the S&D, I could definitely tell the home series was ours.
Now we'll get to see the Empire again, obviously here for the final home series weekend in Toronto, and it's definitely going to be an interesting one, right? You've got your group filled with the Atlanta FaZe, you get the Minnesota Rocker and the Florida Mutineers. What do you make of the amount of talent that is stacked up in your group?
Oh yeah, it's absurd. This is definitely the hardest group in my opinion, the whole season. And just to top it off, all four us, Atlanta, FaZe, and no, us, Atlanta, Florida, and Chicago are all fighting for top 2 seed,
Hmm.
and three of us are in the same pool. So that pool is like gonna mean a lot. Like those pool matches, like those pool play matches, are gonna like mean more than they ever did, because the top two people that get out, the top two teams that get out, and the other one that gets loses in pool play definitely isn't making top 2 seed. And yeah, it's just a fight for top 2 seed, and three of us are in the same pool, so it's gonna be a battle.
Do you
Sure.
think do you think this is the hardest event to win of the season?
Yeah, I would say so, definitely 100%, because um, in the start, whenever like us, Florida, Atlanta, and Chicago, imagine all of us would be in the same event. I would say Florida obviously like what it wasn't as good or as they are now, and like everybody just learned how to play the game. This is 100% the hardest event, and also Chicago got very, very good, and all the other teams, like you can't even count out the other teams like OGLA, like before like now did like their roster definitely wasn't working. Now their roster is actually really, really good. You seen the last event, they only lost two series to Florida. They lost game 5 round 11, and then they lost game 4, and everybody just knows how to play now. Like everybody knows how to play,
Hmm.
everybody knows how to play the game to a T. Rosters are better in my opinion. and so this is definitely the hardest event to win.
And obviously, you talked on it, right? I mean, the kind of the major storyline coming into your particular group is about that top two seeding. Who's going to walk away with the first seed, or even just in general, who's going to be in the top two, because that is the overall difference between 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. But obviously, you and the Empire are trying to lock in that first seed, currently down to the Atlanta phase for right now. Have you and the team kind of went over all the different scenarios that could take place, and what you guys need to do versus other particular teams in terms of seeding?
Oh yeah, 100%. We just look at the chart. We obviously said if we didn't win the last event, I don't think we would have got top two seed. But the last event was definitely we needed a must win, and we went over it. We just said honestly, we just said win last event, win next event. There you go, first seed. That's all we said. We're not shooting for second, even though like we might get like second seed if we shoot for second. We're just shooting to win. We literally said win the next two events, win champs. That's the plan.
Absolutely. Now, when we talk about champs, right, the emphasis is always on peaking at the right time, right? It's making sure that you are peaking in terms of your particular lineup. You're trying to make sure that you are at the best right ahead of champs, just to kind of make sure that window, if you will, is locked in. The Empire comes through and wins the most dominant home series yet. Is it fair to say that we have seen the peak from the Empire? Is it still to come about? What do you feel about the peak of the team, and with champs right around the corner?
I feel like we still haven't hit our peak. We're really close. Like I said, we're a really good Empire right now, but we fixed those mistakes. We gotta do a little bit of stuff better, and you guys will definitely see the peak of Empire. And the good thing is it's just in time for champs. So by champs time, this next home series and champs by champs time, I think you guys will definitely see the best Empire you've seen all season. Even though it's gonna be hard because the last home series was really good, but I think by champs time, you guys are gonna see the best Empire ever.
That's iLLeY, player for the Dallas Empire, three-time home series winner. iLLeY, thanks so much for taking the time to talk with us, and best of luck in Toronto.
Thank you for having me, and thank you very much.